Folks, I have 5:30. It's time to start the forum. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Before we start the forum, if everyone would just take a moment, pause, and bow your heads, and then we'll start. Amen. Commissioners, you've seen the agenda for the community forum. You'll have a motion to adopt the agenda. I have a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Fauché. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Alexander. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. Floor is open for public comment.
Greetings.
Staff, and guests. My name is Ashley Manson, homeowner at 132 Virginia and full-time resident at 226 Alabama. I am here tonight to share with you two important items with you and meeting attendees. The first is the Montreat Land Care Festival and Arbor Day celebration, Saturday, April 11th, from 10 to 2 on Moore Field, rain or shine. Everyone is welcome to come. This will be a community event for all ages. We'll have many great vendors, exhibitors, and programming for all to enjoy, including 3 plant nurseries selling springtime favorites, 3 of our very own Made in Montreat artists, food vendors including Round Mountain Creameries and their goat cheese, Little Jaybird Farm who uses honey from their beekeeping, as well as our very own Montreat tea service on the first floor of Moore Center. Our local conservation partners include Swananoa Valley Wild, who is the local chapter of the Wildlife Federation, who has graciously earmarked $10,000 for replantings in Montreat to show them their appreciation. Swananoa Tree Alliance, who governs our Treasure Tree program and will be accepting applications. And Master Gardener at your disposal. The Chestnut Foundation, and information on hemlocks and hemlock-related diligent efforts in our valley. We will have a Montreat Arbor Day proclamation and a guided Treasure Tree walk starting at 10 a.m.
Start over.
Educational programs may include, we're still confirming all of them, programs on Flat Creek Crossing, Flat Creek 2040, certified wildlife habitat, and 2 from Montreat College, including the Hellbender Salamanders and the Green Space Initiative. I encourage you all to mark your calendars for this special event. Please help us publicize it and bring your friends and family. Any questions?
Yes, two questions.
Yes, sir.
The actual name is the Montreat Land Care Festival.
Land Care Festival and Arbor Day celebration.
And remind me the date again.
April 11th. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We will begin setup on Friday, so please avoid Moorfield on Friday.
Starts when again?
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
on Saturday, April 11th.
And I've seen your flyers in the post office, and that's good.
Fantastic.
Ashley, you may have an answer for this, I'm not sure, but the Black Mountain Center for the Arts is looking for a yard to maybe be on their, what do they call it when they tour of yards? They want
Tour of homes, tour of yards.
Well, it's, garden tours. They don't go in homes, they just go in the gardens. But somebody asked me if we have a yard in Montreat that might be available to be on that tour. And I wrote back and said, we don't have very big yards, and I don't know of any, but if you know of anybody that would like to have people tromping through their yard? Like Tom Widman?
Not at this point.
Okay, if you hear of somebody, let me know.
Okay.
Kitty, what's the date?
That would be a good thing to know, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I don't know, I'll look it up.
Tromping through your yards is a big selling point, Kitty.
I mean, they can come to mine, but it's,
That would be impressive.
okay. Now for the second item in regard to the sanitation ordinance on the agenda tonight. I started thinking about it after the last meeting and investigating what it would take for me to get a bear-resistant bin at my house. I know it's a rental, but still. I know protecting bears from access to trash is critical to keeping them and us safe. But what I found was very discouraging because the green boxes are very expensive, roughly from $2,000 to $3,000 installed. They also have to be shipped to a location that can accept pallets. And then I had to figure out who would install it. But as I dug deeper, I reached out to Savannah, and then the magic happened. I am pleased to share with the council and the attendees that I have a reasonable and acceptable solution for homeowners who wish to have an attractive bear bin that is already town approved and they don't have to lift a finger. My team has designed a turnkey solution for Montreat homeowners. The attractive and secure bear resistant bins are wrought iron frame with a sturdy mesh walls and a cute bear silhouette on the front. They come in 3 sizes, a 4-bag, an 8-bag, or a 12-bag capacity. They open from the front, so clean out is much easier should perhaps someone put a doggy bag in your trash can. They are made in Tennessee, where a father and son manufacturer have over 10,000 effective installations. And as a side note, their hometown has seen a 50% reduction in bear incidences since the ordinance took effect. The solution includes the unit, shipping and receiving, permanent concrete installation, plastic trash containers to go inside so we don't have to look at plastic bags, house numbers for compliance, and a trash notification flag to help our collections teams. Pricing ranges based on the size of the unit from $1,499 to just under $2,000. Frankly, this is a significant savings from traditional green boxes and much more attractive. Now I'll stop. Does the council have any specific questions I can answer?
Do you rent?
No, sir. These are for acquisition.
No, you said you rented. I thought you said you rented.
She rents her.
I have, my family home is 132 Virginia, and I'm a permanent resident at 226 Alabama as a rental.
Okay, it's a rental.
Yes, sir.
I'm confused.
But-
I'm going to tell you, the burden falls on the homeowner.
It does, and they've refused to do it, so that's why I investigated it myself. But I have backdoor service, which is lovely.
I'll add to that my box, which you're familiar with, is a job site box. And it's metal, and I've put latches on it to lock it, and works great. And
Yes.
it's, a few $100s.
So, but the sanitation ordinance mandates the new boxes coming in will be certified bear resistant.
No.
That's what it read to.
Well, they have to be approved by the town.
Yes, either certified or approved. So, and I think the boxes that you're talking about, we talked about, they're not technically certified, but we have folks in town who already have them installed, and we know that they worked well, so we can give the thumbs up on those. I think Ashley is just trying to get at that there is an attractive, permanent solution for folks who might be interested. And they are much more attractive than the traditional green boxes. She's shown me some pictures of them.
Have you seen my cute box?
Are you willing to paint, will you paint all the green boxes?
What's the name of the company?
Which company?
That's the wrought iron.
It's a father and son team. It's, like bearproofbins.com or something.
Okay.
It's very simple. But I have all the information if you want more information on them. So are there any other questions that I can answer? All right. Seeing none, I will be here for the duration of the meeting, and I have a few flyers that have pictures and photographs and whatnot of these items. And last but not least, I will actually be personally importing these from Tennessee. So in order to get this process started, we are going to be offering a $100 discount for the first 6 customers because we need to get this rolling. So thank you for the town for taking action tonight and ensuring the safety and the security of our residents and our visitors and our wildlife.
Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
Thanks for all that work.
Thanks for all you do. I missed
June
it.
19th and 20th for if you want your garden to be on display. Thank you.
Shirley, you ready to come up?
It's really nice to see everybody in person, and I contrast it to listening to music on a CD to actually being in a concert hall where it's live. Okay, I'm Shirley Mitchell, full-time resident for 30 years. And I've seen a lot, and the town is in good shape now. I think we all will agree Montreat is really different, and you just might stop and think, why is it different? Well, I'll tell you, it's because the Spirit of the Lord is on this place. And that also explains all the battles, because there is a tremendous heavenly battle, and it affects us as people. And I can tell you where you can read about it if you want to know. I have 3 things I wanted to bring up. The first is the departure of Gene Shuford. If you have not read his obituary, read it. It is totally different. He was looking forward to all the people he is going to see and be met with in heaven. Very different obituary. The second thing, this is some of your new business, which is designating Saturday, May the 11th, as Arbor Day in Montreat. Is that a finished deal, or are you all going to discuss it? Or if I want to bring up something, do I do it now?
You're welcome to do it now. It is not a done deal until they pass the resolution.
Okay, so if you all can pass this out, and I have exactly 10 of these, which is, the Lord provided, because that's the name of it here. I think it's great. On the official business, it's proclamation number 26-03-0001, starting designating Saturday, April 11th, 2026 as Arbor Day in Montreat, whereas in 1872. So I have suggested at the very bottom, right after, whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. If we could add this next phrase, whereas trees are created by God through Jesus Christ and bring him glory. If that can be added, and if you want to know the source, I'm happy to give it to you. Okay, the third thing, and I'm so grateful to all of you, but this is a promise in the good word. Whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. For from the Lord you receive the reward of the inheritance. It is the Lord Christ whom you serve. So, if that's your orientation, look at the great promise there. But it's got to be, whatever you do, do as unto the Lord. And when you think of Lord and you think of God, and it's not nebulous. He has a name. His name is Jesus Christ. So, thank you.
Thanks, Shirley.
Thank you, Shirley. Come on up.
Okay, Arrington Cox, 221 North Carolina Terrace. I know that we need to address the sanitation issue with the Bears. I know that we have addressed and readdressed the bird feeding situation. And it's hard to police that. I think I would like to encourage you all somehow to put out a strong statement about the bird feeders. Now is the time to be bringing those things in, because the bears are indeed out. I saw we have a mother and 2 roaming up and down North Carolina Terrace and Virginia Road. I passed them on the way down here. So far, they've been good, but we don't want to have another march. One was enough. So I think if I could encourage you all to put a strong, strong statement somewhere, Mason or Tom, in your memos and your letters out, to let's put our feet down about these bird feeders. Because that's what they're coming. We're about to solve the trash problem. But then there are these birds and the feeders. So please help us with this. Thank you. Yes,
I
sir.
just want to comment that I asked Arrington if I could run in tomorrow's Montreat Minute the memo that she sent out to all the bear watchers, which was very well written, and it really pointed out why we needed to do what you're asking us to do.
I saw that. I looked at that. Good. Thank you, Mason. We'll see what this happens, okay? And we've had.
Can I just add, too, that one of the things that Ashley Hobbs said in her note to us about pulling Bearwise certification, that we didn't communicate enough, and we will up that.
Tom, I appreciate you saying that. I don't know what else we could do to communicate more than you have done in the Montreat Minute. And the more that we have talked to MRA, I don't know what else we could do. Walk up and down the street with signs. I'm at a loss. If I can help, let me know.
Arrington, we can keep saying it. I'll tell you this from being a husband that I don't always hear everything that's communicated to me at home. So, you can't communicate enough. Sometimes I need to hear things 2 or 3 times before I take care of them.
Exactly. Yeah, we just need to hammering at this, you all, and hammer, and we'll get it done. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Arrington. Anyone else? No one? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn until 6 o'clock at our regular meeting.
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Widmer. Do I have a second? Second from Commissioner Blake. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. We stand adjourned until 6 o'clock.
I'm like, you didn't tell me that. You didn't say that. That gets you in trouble.
It does. I just say it real.
That's right.
I had to get it in that belly.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I was Googling some pictures, and these are the ones that I thought that was probably those are really nice. So and that's installation.
Know that it's gone up a lot.
Everything. And
Well,
how are they?
Bow our heads a moment before we start. It's been a cold winter, and we've lost some very key people that I want to remember, and that's Henry Neal, Digby Boyd, sorry, Bill Lee, William Bill Graham, and Dr. Jean Sue Schufer, and Kitty Neal. So if we just think about those folks and their families as we bow our heads, please. Amen. Commissioners, you've had the agenda and you've had a chance to review it. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
So moved.
I have a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Fouché. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second from Commissioner Dasher. Any comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. I don't really have any communications other than I don't know who ordered winter back. We sure have enjoyed some mighty fine days last few days, and we'll get through the next couple, and then spring will finally be here before long. Savannah, you want to cover the consent agenda, please, ma'am?
I will. So the consent agenda tonight are the February 12th public forum meeting minutes and the town council meeting minutes, along with the February 20th special meeting minutes. And that's your consent agenda. And then I just have a couple of quick things to cover. The first being the sign ordinance, which we talked about last month. We have since met with the sign subcommittee, and by we, I mean Commissioner Blake and I, along with Alexis Baker, our zoning administrator. We've met. The sign subcommittee has met again, and I am just wondering what the council appetite is for having a workshop on that ordinance. I think it could be useful, especially if we're able to do something maybe in, to do a like a combined meeting with the sign subcommittee, and just wondering everybody's thoughts about that.
That would be fine with me if we, if we're going to have it on the April agenda. It might be good to have a meeting if you'll set a time and a place. That
I will. And so we did continue, or you all did continue the public hearing to the April meeting. We may not be able to meet and do all of the edits to the ordinance before then, but we will put it on the agenda for April, even if it's not ready, just so we can continue it again. So I'll get that arranged. And then I also wanted to acknowledge.
Can I just
Yes.
ask a question?
Yes.
Mason, you and I were chatting. Do you think that we can get it to where it needs to be by April to have a workshop session?
I think especially trying to coordinate everyone's schedules is going to be difficult. Yeah. The actual ordinance itself, I don't think is far off. I think it will be the schedule coordination.
Frankly, I think maybe just easier rather than go through the motion to table it to May. That way we're not under.
You know, it's a really complicated issue. Not only are there town issues related to it, there are Supreme Court of the United States issues related to it, and I would rather us be very thorough and thoughtful on it. So I wouldn't mind tabling it till May.
Well, we'll need to do that at the April meeting. I'm sorry, that's the point I was trying to make, is that we will need to do that because we did continue it to a date certain. We will have to do it at that time. Yeah, okay. Jeff Eaton, our police chief, as most of you know, he has resigned. We are going to miss him. He's done a great job for us over the last 18 months or so. His last day is next Wednesday, March 18th. So if you see Jeff, make sure you tell him thank you. And then just a brief update on that search. We've received 4 applications so far, all of which I think are pretty good. And I hope to start interviews at the end of this month. And I'll be putting a panel together for that. Probably recruit the mayor to be on that panel, and then at least one other person to do those interviews with me. So we will have more news maybe next time we meet. That's all I have.
And our captain is going to be...
Yes, once again, Captain Bradley will be our interim chief. So thank you, Tim. We appreciate you, and everybody knows and loves Tim at this point. So, yeah.
And you
He
know,
is.
Tim,
Criminals are gonna be leaving.
Yeah.
and Tim, you too could be one of the 5th applicants if you really wanted to.
I think Tim would be in a lot of trouble with Mrs. Captain Bradley.
Before long, someone will do a cartoon or a comic book about Captain Tim. Okay, administrative reports we've received: planning and zoning, public works and water, sanitation, our street reports, finance reports, police report, and permitting inspections from Buncombe County. Are there any questions or statements? Tom?
I just have a couple of things to Savannah. I noticed reading through the minutes that there were a couple of follow-up items. One was the updated hurricane project spreadsheet that Mason asked for, and I think we'd all really like to see that. So let's try not to forget that. And then there was a question about last month's budget, the $30,000 that the administrative department was over in expenses. You were going to check that out.
Angie looked into that, and I can't remember what it was. So, Angie?
I got that information from Rachel.
Hey, Rachel, can you come in here really quick? Yeah.
The reason why it was showed 30,000 more than what was technically spent, truly, because we encumbered the amount of the new contract for the attorney. So we encumbered those funds, so they show that they're spent, but they're not spent. They're just holding for payment.
Got it.
Okay?
Does that make sense? Okay. And then on FEMA, I will get you an updated spreadsheet. I was waiting, hoping to move another project through the next phase, but FEMA is not completely shut down, but as of February, the Department of Homeland Security is partially shut down due to a funding lapse. And so the branch of FEMA that I work with, it has been shut down. They are not allowed to respond to emails. They are not allowed to take phone calls. We have not had a meeting. So all of our work with FEMA has been at just completely dead stop since February of since February. So that is frustrating, but hopefully they'll be back up and running soon. But I'll go ahead and get you a spreadsheet.
Any other questions on the administrative reports?
I just want to know, we got a note, I believe it's Mark Graham, talking about how Angie Murphy in fashion went out of her way to help Maury, who was stricken with a couple of different surgeries, to help Maury with a building permit compliance or application, which has to go now through Buncombe County at least temporarily while they're handling our building inspections. And one of the things Angie for that, let everybody here know, if you have a file for a permit yourself, that's one gargantuan difficult task, and I'm sure it took Angie a lot of time to deal with that tomorrow. It's greatly appreciated.
That's our Angie. Floor is open for public comment. Seeing no one move on. We have no new business. We have tons of old business. Well, no, we do have old business, tons of new business. Item A is a proclamation designed for the Arbor Day. Savannah?
Yes. This is a proclamation designating Saturday, April 11th, 2026 as Arbor Day in Montreat, and I'll just read it very quickly. Whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees, and whereas this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world, and whereas trees can be a solution for combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning the air, producing life-giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, are a source of joy and spiritual renewal. Now, therefore, I, Tim Helms, Mayor of the town of Montreat, do hereby proclaim Saturday, April 11th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the town of Montreat, and I urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the heart and promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated this 12th day of March, 2026.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve Proclamation 2603-0001.
Have a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Fouché. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second from Commissioner Widmer. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Next item is budget amendment number 9. Savannah?
Thank you. So this first budget amendment will be to include funds into Fund 29, which is the Hurricane Helene Fund. This includes a FEMA disbursement of $47,095.69 and a donation that we got for recovery of I guess it's more than one donation, $9,335.16.
It was not a contribution?
It was more than one donation. It was not one donation of $9,335. That was several.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have two.
I'll second.
Commissioner Blake made the motion. Commissioner Widmer seconded it. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Paving discussion. Savannah?
So I'm very excited about this budget amendment. So I have been working with Rachel and Barry to try to drum up some funds to go ahead and get some streets paved while we are waiting for the FEMA process to continue. We are proposing that we appropriate $118,000 of PAL bill funds, $300,000 from fund balance, and $222,000 from Fund 29 to cover the paving projects that I'm going to read. Kentucky Road, Appalachian Way, Calvin Trail, Salem Road, Louisiana Road, and the stormwater upgrade on Woodland Road. So we will be using money from fund balance to make this happen, but we will not be dropping below our 40% fund balance requirement. So there's no risk of running into any issues with the auditors or with the local government commission.
Any questions of Savannah? And she did call and talk to the state folks and got assurance that as long as we stayed in our approved amount of fund balance that we were okay. So do I have a motion?
Can I just comment? I'll make a motion. I'll make that motion. I move that we adopt a budget amendment number 10.
Yes.
What's that?
Yes, it's 10.
10. For the paving of the roads.
I have a second.
Second?
I have a second from Commissioner Alexander. Discussion?
I just wanted to say that we had some choices here, but because we have a strong financial position in this town, instead of going outside commercially, borrowing money and paying interest, we're using our own money. We're borrowing from ourselves. And what a wonderful ability that is for this town to do and to save money.
And 300,000 of this is reimbursable, right? Or is all of it reimbursable?
It should all be reimbursable. So we will eventually see this money come back to us. And I do want to note, for those of you who don't live on those streets, I know it's frustrating to not have your road paved yet, and it is coming. We had to really sit down and be careful about which roads needed to be prioritized along with the best use of our funds. And I know many people, since we made this announcement, have specifically asked why Graybeard and Lookout are not on the list of roads to be paved initially. And that is because both of those roads have to have significant infrastructure repairs before we can pave. They both need extensive culvert work, likely complete replacements on all of the culverts on Graybeard and Lookout. So that has to happen first. It doesn't make sense for us to pave, go back, rip up new pavement to replace culverts. So that's why it's not happening yet. I don't know if anyone is brave enough to venture up Appalachian. For those of you who don't live on Appalachian, it's pretty bad. So we knew we wanted to get that one done in this round, and then Lookout and Graybeard will be hopefully on the next round of paving if we're able to get those big infrastructure projects done first. So thanks for being patient with us. I know it's frustrating.
Thank you, Savannah.
A question.
Sure.
Do you know what the plan is for Graybeard down at the bottom, where the creek is just, I mean, it's just not the creek anymore? Do you know what the plan is? Or are they going to try to put that back?
I know there is
Together?
a plan. I do not know exactly what it is.
They delivered some material there, so I
Yes.
didn't know what they were going to do.
Yeah, and Barry?
That looked like stormwater equipment material, didn't it, Barry?
The material that's sitting at that site is for a project that a contractor's doing on West Virginia. They just needed a site just to store that material temporarily. The plan is for that area, in speaking with our engineers with Withers and Ravenel, we're going to go in just above the water level, stay out of the creek, and we're going to pull that material out. All that material comes from the slides and everything upstream, and we're going to try to make a storage area for when if we ever have another event, there'll be somewhere for that water to go instead of down Graybeard or over into one of MRA's buildings or something. We'll give it an area to go to build up and then go under that bridge. So in the future, near future, we're hoping to start cleaning that area up and kind of dressing it up to make it look the best we could, but also serve as a preventative for future flooding.
Thanks, Barry.
Through Barry's input and working with his staff and the engineers, we're trying to fix things better than they were. There's no need to put them back like they were. So while we're doing all of this, we're trying to do it. Culverts are going to be enlarged. Stormwater drainage is going to be looked at very carefully. Just a lot more that we're going to be doing in the future to try to hopefully never have another Helene. But if it does happen, we're prepared for it. I have a motion. Do I have a second? And I've had a second. Any more discussion or questions? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, I think we took care of paving discussion, C and D in one fell swoop, didn't we?
Yes, we sure
Okay.
did.
Budget amendment number 11, Savannah.
So budget amendment number 11 is moving some money around within Fund 29. We're moving money from one line to another line. This is to help us cover some cost related to our disaster recovery consultants and our engineering. We we're actually moving a little bit faster than we thought, so we're spending money on our engineers a little bit more quickly than we thought. So we need to increase the amount that we had pre-audited for this fiscal year, just so that we can have it encumbered and we know what we're going to be spending for, hopefully for the rest of the fiscal year on culvert engineering specifically. And again, that's just moving, we'll be moving an increase of $30,000 for the disaster relief consulting with Withers Ravenel, and then we will be amending the original pre-audit amount of $79,654 for the engineering of culverts to $132,654.
Savannah, just to make it clear, so this is not actually increasing the contracts, the amount of the contracts at all. We're just increasing the timing of the payments.
That's right.
We're not
So
moving up the timing of the payments.
yes, that is correct. We only pre-audited, which is a process by which Rachel encumbers the funds, sets the money aside to say this is how much we're going to be spending in this fiscal year. And we just didn't do the whole contract amount because frankly we couldn't afford it. So it was really a guesstimate of this is how much we think we're going to spend, but we're spending it a little bit more quickly than we thought. So.
That's a good problem to have, as long as we have the money.
And we do get reimbursed for their expenses too, do we not?
We do.
Eventually.
Yes. So that will all be reimbursed under categories Z through FEMA, and the consultants will take care of getting all of that money reimbursed for us as well. So hopefully we will see all of this come back to us.
And we don't feel like there's any risk that they would come back toward the end of the contract and say, there's this additional need for, okay.
No, I feel very confident that, well, the actual contract itself is council approved, so they can't really go back on that. But I feel very confident that that they're being very upfront with us about cost. And if anything, I think on the engineering cost, they are trying to be pretty liberal in their estimates just so that we don't get surprised by anything.
Do I have a motion to approve budget amendment number 11?
Move to approve amendment number 11.
I have a motion to approve from Mayor Pro Tem Fouché. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second from Commissioner Grant Dasher. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? F, Presbyterian Heritage Center sign location request, the History Trail.
The Presbyterian Heritage Center has been toying over the last several years with the idea of taking the concept of an historical exhibit and taking it outside. And there is no better place than Montreat to do that because we have so many historical sites in Montreat with a plethora of information about those sites. So the Presbyterian Heritage Center has put together a plan that they are calling the Montreat History Trail. It will be a trail, the first portion of that, maybe the last portion, we don't know yet, of 12 signs from the gate to the lake. And those signs are going to be at key locations on that 9/10 of a mile stretch from the gate up to the lake. And they will identify an historic building or an historic situation that occurred at each of those sites. On page 39 of your packet, there are 2 samples of the signs that will be created. And below that, the engineering drawing of the pedestal for that entire kiosk. What's really cool about it is that there is photo and information about what happened on that site, as well as a QR code. And the QR code you snap with your phone, and it'll take you back to the PHC website to a point that gives you further information about what happened there. So the livery stable, for example. Did you all know there's been a livery stable in Montreat for more than 100 years? It's right at the junction of Shenandoah and Assembly Drive. One of those 12 signs would indicate that and give the story behind it. You click on the QR code, and it takes you back to an even deeper story about the livery stable, along with 11 other sites. In the spring, last year, this council amended the sign ordinance to allow informational signs to be placed in the rights of way. So this system would be in concurrence with the current sign ordinance. What we asked as a commission back then was to have final approval on the site locations for those signs. And that's what this document does. On page 34, on page 40, it indicates where those sites are. And if you want further information, there's a Zoom link that I can give to you so that you can actually dive down to see what the GPS coordinates are of those sites.
Any questions of Commissioner Widmer? Do I have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve, approve the PHC sign location request for the Montreat History Trail.
I have a motion. Commissioner Alexander, do we have a second?
A second.
Commissioner Grant has seconded it. Any further discussion?
I'll just add, I forgot to add, this is funded by a grant that the PHC received, as well as some private money.
I think this is a really cool idea. I'm excited about it.
Good. Any further conversation? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carry. Item G, consideration of proposal amendment, Chapter G, well, anyway, it's another, Savannah.
Yes, so I believe that most of you have spoken to Commissioner Blake. He has a couple of suggested edits for this evening that I'm going to review really quickly. And I think that they're all very good edits. But first of all, on page 44, yes, page 45, I'm sorry, of your packet, section 11B. Commissioner Blake is suggesting that we add the following sentence. For the purposes of this subsection 11B of Article 2 of Chapter G, but not for the purposes of any other provision of this Montreat zoning code, the term Montreat resident shall mean and refer to any full or part-time resident of a dwelling in Montreat, or the overnight guest of any such full or part-time resident, including a lessee or guest at a dwelling operated as a long or short-term rental or vacation rental home in Montreat. So that will just give us a little bit more clarity on exactly what we mean by resident in that section. So that's the first suggested edit. Any comments?
And that addresses resident Joe Dunlap's concerns about that definition.
It does, yes. Which I think that's a very good edit. Edit number 2, after the words "this ordinance" in the second sentence of section 12. So that would be on page 45. In the second sentence, add the words "by a person or the real property owned by a person in whole or in part." So,
could you say again where you are?
Yes, section 12. So it would read, the whole sentence would read, "The town manager or the town manager's designee is responsible for the enforcement of this ordinance. Violations of this ordinance, wait, am I in the right place? No. In the second sentence of section 12. Mason, can you help me?
What's it supposed to say, and maybe we can find
In the
it.
second sentence of section 12, add the words by a person or the real property, oh, I see, okay. Violations of this ordinance by a person or the real property owned, owned by a person in whole or in part are punishable as follows. So this just clarifying.
It's the person or the
Yeah.
property's in violation. Either the person did something or the property is being used in violation, so.
So reread that, please. Violations of this.
Violation of this ordinance by a person or the real property owned by a person in whole or in part is punishable as follows, :
And then it goes on to talk about all of the enforcements. In subsection 12D, which is dealing with the convenience center, we're just adding the caption convenience center so we know what we're talking about there. And then also in 12D, we will revise.
Hold on.
Sure.
In 12D,
We're just adding the captions. On A, B, and C, you see how it says first offense, second offense, third and and then D, we'll just add convenience center at the beginning. So we know what we're talking about.
gotcha.
And then in 12D also, instead of reading finds that the misuse of the convenience center has occurred in violation of section 11 of this ordinance, we will change it to read finds that the convenience center has been used in a manner which violates any provision of section 11 of this ordinance.
Gotcha.
And last thing is also in 12D, we will change such misuse in the second line of the second sentence and change that to the violation. So, let's see. In addition, the violator may be ordered to reimburse the town for actual cost of cleanup if the violation results in additional expense to the town.
Does everyone understand these changes?
It changes it only an attorney could.
Yeah, and I apologize. It is what it is. And my wife has to live with it 24 hours a day.
Thanks, Mason, for all the time you spent on this. Finally, we get to do this.
Do I have a motion to consider the proposed amendments to the waste ordinance?
So moved.
I have a motion from Commissioner Widmer. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Blake. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes carry. Opposed? Anybody opposed? I'm sorry. Left those folks out. Budget amendment number 12. For you folks out there, we move money more than anybody else, but it's required by law that when we move funds from one place to another, that the public knows about it and the commissioners know about it. We approve those moves. So it's a necessary evil. Right, Savannah? Go ahead, Savannah.
I think we should all just take a moment to appreciate the fact the sanitation ordinance is done. So this, our last budget amendment of the evening. As you all know, we had a police vehicle which was out of commission but was destroyed completely in Hurricane Helene. FEMA reimbursed us $13,697 for that vehicle. We originally added that money into Fund 29, but now our police department is having pretty significant problems with one of their vehicles, and they're going to explore some options of maybe trying to purchase a vehicle this fiscal year. So we're not ready to make that purchase yet, but just so that they have this money available to them if that's the route they decide to go. We are asking to move that previous FEMA reimbursement of $13,697 from Fund 29 to the police budget.
Any questions of Savannah?
With no restriction of use?
No specific restriction of use in the budget amendment, but I think it's understood between myself and our interim chief that this should be used for the purposes of purchasing a vehicle.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I so move.
I have a motion from Commissioner Dasher. Do we have a second?
Second?
I have a second from Commissioner Alexander. Further discussion or questions? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Floor is open for public comment. Ayes carry.
So it's Shirley Mitchell again. I am just so grateful to you all and the homework you do. And I'm so grateful to Savannah and Angie, because anybody that wants to can read all of this. And then when you have a meeting, it's really short. So thank you.
Thank you, Shirley. Anyone else? Are all you folks saluting me, or you're covering your eyes from the sun? I was going to stand up and salute back. Any other public comment?
I want to thank you all so much. I think we've come a long way with this trash ordinance and the safety ordinance and the bear wise. This is really going to go a long way in helping us with the Wildlife Association. And so thank you all so much. You put some hard work into this and some good thought, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Some of us had a full head of hair when we started this project. Anybody else? Public comment?
So did I.
Commissioner's communication. Any commissioner have a communication tonight?
I do. I had a wonderful experience. One of our community members, Perrin Wright, has lived on Appalachian for quite a while. And he has, let me see, I think he told me how long. But anyway, he's lived there for quite a while. And he is also someone who's given a lot to our community. The Lower Piney, he and a group really went through and really made that trail. But he has a love for geology. He's a mathematician. And but anyway, he had some concerns about what had happened to Appalachian over the time since he's been there, when it was repaved and things like that. And there was some history in the construction of Appalachian. And so he wrote this communication and asked me if I would do something with it. And I said yes, and I will. So I took it to Savannah, and Savannah and Barry have looked at it, and they see a lot of interesting things in there. But it's so wonderful that people just have such a passion for our community and things that need to be done, and they bring their expertise. They come on and really help us. So yes, Perrin, it is being looked at by a lot of people, and I think there's some great information that we're going to be using. So, Savannah, do you have?
No, thank you. And yes, I know that there were some concerns about the curbing on Appalachian, and some reports that it actually contributes to damage to the road. So Barry has some ideas about how to make that better and what we might talk to the contractors about. One of which is actually maybe adding some kind of drain in the curbs and some other options that he's going to look into. But we always appreciate community members who can bring these kinds of concerns to us and let us try to help, because we can't be aware of everything. We don't live in town, so it's always nice to hear from people.
Yeah, let me just add one thing with respect to the fact of removing some or all of that curbing and maybe replacing some or all of it with guardrails to the extent that curbing's there for guardrail purposes. That may be a mitigation item that we could apply to FEMA for reimbursement, because it really, I thank Perrin, because I agree with Perrin. I believe the curbs contributed substantially to the damage that occurred. So putting the curbs back would be hitting yourself over the head with a hammer. And, the extent we can mitigate future such damage, it would, hopefully we could recover that additional cost from FEMA, although I don't think the guardrails would be that much more expensive.
Any other commissioner communication? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Wait a minute, just a second. We got all these meetings. Y'all want me to read it? Has everybody got a copy of the agenda?
Read it.
You know where all these meetings are, when they are? I'll read it tonight and bore y'all, okay?
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Have a motion from Commissioner Widmer to adjourn.
It's a dangerous precedent.
Have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Blake. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes carried. We stand adjourned. And thanks you folks for coming. Remember your friends and your neighbors. Take care of them. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you again next month.
Happy Easter.
Yeah, and happy.